What?
Wow. Oh, it's out of control. What? Are you ready, Jackie? Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games
and
self-care.
Exactly. Why? Because we all need to take care of ourselves regardless of what your hobby is, but that also means board gamers need self-care too. And sometimes we need to just remind ourselves of all the things that we can do to take care of ourselves.
It's so
as
hot
gamers.
in here.
Well, I didn't tell you to wear a hoodie. Self-care would be wear appropriate clothing for the temperature. All right, so for today's video, we just have a few tips and tricks and suggestions on how to provide yourself with a little bit of self-care, okay? Okay, everybody, we're all gonna take care of ourselves. Some of us included, need to take the advice, us included. The very first thing on the list is if you're playing board games a lot, I think it's really important to have good seating. Yeah. We have said this in numerous videos. This is not sponsored, okay? But I do want to give a shout out to our chairs that we have. So we've switched to these chairs, and now these chairs are from Flexispot, but they have like an ergonomic like lumbar support. They've got the headrest. They've got like the flexibility. You can move them up and down and all around and do all that stuff. We got these right before the 24-hour game-a-thon. And I honestly think that it saved our lives.
Well, okay.
Saved our lives. We could have died. It's a horrible dramatic back pain death. But it does make such a difference. Like if you're playing all day.
I have a very bad back, in full transparency.
Yeah, if we play upstairs, Jeff has to get a butt pillow.
I have to get a butt pillow. I'm getting up all the time because my back hurts. I haven't really found these ones to be inducing of that.
No. Especially, I mean, like we played for we were sitting in them for almost 24 hours straight. So I just think in general, whether it's these chairs or another kind of chair that provides you with good support, if you are able to put that in your game room, I think that's a really good way to treat yourself. Okay?
Yeah. And your guests.
And your guests, honestly.
Play the games you want to play.
What?
Don't worry about staying current. There's a million games coming out constantly. It is literally impossible to stay current.
Yeah. We basically do this for a living and we can't.
If I understand FOMO and all of those things, and I get it too. But if anything I've discovered as I've evolved into this hobby is that sometimes you should take a break and play some of the older stuff and reappreciate why those games are in your collection. And I think it also is really good because it gives you kind of like this look into like the evolution of games, you know, depending on what games you're playing. And like, there's a reason why some of these older games are still talked about.
Yeah.
You know, like Orleans.
Or Azul.
Or Azul.
Yeah.
You know, Brass Birmingham. Like, they're incredible games. And I think there's more value in playing those games more frequently because when you buy new games, I'm not saying not to buy, we buy new games all the time. Yeah. You know, we're promoting new games all the time. Yeah. And that's just the nature of the hobby. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. No. But sometimes these new games are hit or miss. You know? And there's reasons why these games are sitting in your collection for as long as they have because you like them. So go back and remember them. Yeah. Give them the love they deserve.
Exactly. And on the flip side of that, if you only play the same games over and over and over again, try something new. It doesn't have to be a new release, but just try a new game. So I think as like for us, good advice is to go back to an old game that we love because we're constantly playing new things. Yep. But I do know there's quite a few people that they only play like the same games and maybe that gets a little bit of stale for them. Yeah. So mix it up and try something new. Whatever kind of works for you and breaks you out of that like brain fog cycle. Another good tip is because thousands of new games come out every year, try before you buy. There are so many ways that you can do this now. Specifically, I'm thinking through Board Game Arena and through something like our Discord, where you can join and play with a bunch of people if you don't have somebody to play with. But I think and we're really bad for this, so we can straight up admit it, we will just buy without even thinking and without even knowing whether or not we're going to enjoy a game. And I think we just did it. But I do think a big part of that is because of the channel, and we're trying to...
And we're collectors.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that. Don't put yourself into any kind of financial struggle or anything like that, because there's so many opportunities and ways that you can try a game for free. And then if you 100%. Play it and you really enjoy it, then get it. Because BGA is adding games literally every day. It's wild. You can play so many different kinds of games. The fact that there's a GMT game on there now with Jest of Robin Hood, it blows my mind. Yeah. So there's something for everyone. Or you can go to a board game cafe, like the Boardroom Game Cafe.
You can.
That's in Halifax. If you're there, you should definitely check it out. Or borrow from a friend.
Yeah.
Maybe you have friends like us who have a massive collection, who you can just lend games out. We lend games out to friends all the time.
Yeah.
Because we just want more people to be playing games. So borrow from a friend or lend to a friend.
Yeah.
Okay?
If you're that person.
If you're that person. Exactly.
What do humans need, Jamie?
Sun.
What else?
Food.
What else?
This is a seasonal recommendation video. Water.
People need to hydrate.
Yeah.
We're bad for this.
Very bad for this.
We'll play full game days and all we'll drink is coffee.
Oh, yeah, I love coffee though.
And energy drinks.
Yeah.
I have a new obsession with energy drinks.
He does. It's not good.
Don't judge me. But you should be hydrating, people. We have a mini fridge here that is always full of waters. And I'm sure not everyone's going to have that around, but you should be hydrating as you play.
Yeah.
Mental clarity is important.
Yeah.
And guess what? You can't be mentally clear unless you hydrate.
Yeah. Hydrate and eat good food. Listen, do as we say, not as we do. You don't need to eat nothing but Sour Patch Kids.
Debatable, but sure.
It's debatable, but you should try and have some healthy food and stuff like that.
Like a carrot.
Maybe just at least one carrot. But kind of leading into that, a big thing is focusing on your mental well-being and doing things that enhance your energy and your focus.
Beauty.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Which brings me to Magic Mind. Now, this is going to be something totally different than what we've ever talked about before. But I want to talk about it. Magic Mind is a mental performance shot. And basically what it does is it helps to increase your energy, sharpen your mind, and decrease stress. And just to be totally open, I have been extremely stressed and burnt out and tired and all of the things in the past
Factually correct.
few years.
Life.
Past few months in particular, just because life is just insanely insane and busy. And so a company reached out to us with the product Magic Mind, and they said, hey, do you want to try this? Would you like to try the 7-day challenge, whatever it is? And so basically what that means is that you do one of these little bottles. You can drink it in different ways. You can drink it straight up, which is how I do it. You could pour it over ice. You could pour it over top of oat milk, bubbly water, whatever you want to do, and you just drink it. And you do that alongside of things like your morning coffee or your breakfast. It's not meant to replace your regular caffeine routine. No, it's in addition to your routine. And the whole purpose is that it's supposed to give you some mental clarity, help you focus, help you de-stress, and sharpen your mind. And you want to know what? All of those things are really good for gamers because that's how we get our good strategy going. Okay? So.
Facts.
Because of all of my recent burnout and stress, I decided I'm going to just try it.
Yeah.
So this is about day 6 of the 7-day challenge, and I'm going to continue going. But I just wanted to tell you kind of what my experience has been so far and tell you a little bit more about Magic Mind in general in case you are curious, in case you want to get your mind healthy. Okay. It's time to try Magic Mind for the first time. Also, don't judge me right now for the way that I look. it's the morning. Okay, it's the morning, and it is, ow, what it is. I just banged my elbow. Magic Mind. You guys shake her up because it gets stuff on the bottom. Shake it off. Shake it off. I haven't thought this through. I'm going to need to put you down. Okay, here it is. I'm going to open it up. Zing. Here's what it tastes like. It tastes like matcha. It's sharp. And I could taste like there's fruitiness in it. Boost energy and focus. Crush procrastination. Elevate mental clarity. Oh, heck yeah. La, 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 la. Apparently you can mix it with other stuff. Like you can make like a little oat milk ice latte or something. They specifically said oat milk. I don't drink oat milk. Done. That's just a little. I can't get it. Do I feel more mentally focused on day one? Not yet. I'll keep you posted. Okay, we're back. It's day 5 with another Magic Mind. And I once again didn't think this out and I need to set you down. Hold, please. Okay, cheers. I'm actually really liking the taste of these now. Productivity shot, subtly sweet. 12 magical ingredients, in case anybody was wondering. Don't have my glasses on. But it's good for energy, immunity, etc. Nom, 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 nom. Okay, that's day 5. I am feeling quite good. I'm feeling really good. So lots of energy, which is perfect because we're super busy getting ready to go to Disney. You'll love to see it. I think we're going to be filming our update tomorrow, so that will be my day 6, which means we're almost done. By we, I mean me, almost done the 7-day challenge. And I actually, yeah, I'm into it. I'm loving it. Magic Mind, feeling productive. Basically, I started to feel a little bit more focused, productive on around day 4-ish of 4 of 6. So it's not meant to be like a quick fix. This is literally like you do it and, you know, you eventually start to see the stuff. Because there's like 12 ingredients and it's matcha is a big thing in this. So that's basically the flavor. It's like matcha fruit and it's just really condensed. And you just, woo, it kind of makes you do that when you do it. I got Jeff to do one. It was like, woo. Anyways.
It is a woo.
It's a woo drink, let me tell you. So essentially, I will have my breakfast, and then I'll have my coffee alongside my breakfast, and then I'll take it pretty much right after that. And then you just kind of let it work its magic and do its thing, essentially. And then eventually... Wait, you don't know
the science?
Well, it is scientific, okay? Because there's been over 200 scientific studies that have been done on it. This is all cleared by doctors. They use very high quality ingredients. Like there's a bunch of different kinds of mushrooms and stuff in it. There's like super high quality, it's not that kind of mushrooms, but there's super high quality like matcha in it as well. So the ingredients are really, really good. But that's basically what it is. It's a mental performance shot that you take to try and get a little bit of clarity.
Get a little edge.
Get a little spice in your life, basically. And for me, at least, I can only talk about my experience. So far, I feel like it's working because well, it's good timing, honestly, because we're about to go away. We have a million things to do, and I feel like it's helped me get more done. So this is only day 6, though. I am going to be doing another update after the 10 to 12 day point, and then I'll let you know kind of how I'm feeling at that point, and if I'm like over the moon, if I'm zooming because I've got all that energy. And if you're like, oh, well, why don't you just do a caffeine shot or do an energy drink or whatever. The really cool thing about this is it's not like an instant gratification thing. It has like time release caffeine.
So no like come down.
Exactly. So like there's no caffeine crash because like every like, I don't know, it's like every 3 to 4 hours or something, it kind of like releases a little bit more based on the ingredients that are in it. So that's why it kind of keeps you perky for longer than a cup of coffee or an energy drink. If Magic Mind sounds like something that you might be interested in, I'll have all the links, information that you need below. We do have a coupon code. If you want to try it, you can get a discount. But this segment of the video was sponsored by Magic Mind. So they say, do you want to try it? I said yes. And they said, okay, you've tried it. Do you want us to sponsor? And I said, yes, because I'd like to tell more people about this. And we have a perfect video where I can tell you about it.
Yep.
Anyways, that is Magic Mind. Information below, and I will give you an update in a couple of videos away from now, maybe the next video or whatever, about
when you're superhuman?
When I'm superhuman.
Got it. This has been a topic of discussion that I've had recently with Jamie and some closer friends, and it's the approach to a game and how we approach games mentally. I know a lot of people that approach games looking for things to nitpick or
with the reviewer mindset.
Yeah,
basically.
like with the critic mindset of like going and that's fine if that's what you want to do. I'm very much on the opposite end of that spectrum. I always go into games looking for things that I'm going to enjoy and picking those things out, even if there are things I identify that maybe I don't like.
Yeah.
I just think there is way more benefit to going into games with a positive mindset. And understanding that there's going to be flaws and that'll be fine, and then focusing on the things that you do enjoy. That's not saying you should ignore the things you don't like, but again, I just feel like there's a lot of people that go into games with that critic mindset of like, I have to find things wrong with this game, and if I don't, I'm not doing my job.
Yeah. And
that's just a really kind of poopy way to do things, in my opinion. Because once you're playing that game and you're being like, oh, this is wrong and this sucks, it's impacting everyone around. Internalize that if you need to, but like don't poo-poo on everyone else's experience, because I think a lot of people do go into games with a positive mindset of like, hey, I want to enjoy this game and I want to have fun playing it. That's why we're playing games.
Yeah.
To have fun.
Have fun.
We don't need to always go into things with the negative, so many negative things in the world. We don't need to bring it into games, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So overall, I think you should have a positive mindset going into games and enjoy the experience of playing games with the people you love.
And I guess my next point kind of ties into that a little bit. And this is coming from people who review games. Don't put so much weight on reviews. Because the thing is, opinions are subjective. And we're not the same people. And I could have an opinion of a game that can impact what somebody else thinks, and I think we're kind of like highly aware of that, which is why we try not to do too many reviews. It doesn't mean that you're not going to enjoy that game, and there are a lot of people in the board game space that review, and reviews can be very helpful. I would say like take them as more of a guideline. It's like, oh, well, this person, you know, maybe said this and this person said this. Try and find people that you maybe align with, and even then you might still like a game that they don't like, or you might not like a game that they do like. But I just don't think that we should be like not trying games and not playing specific games because we heard somebody on the internet say that they don't like it. There's no such thing as an objective review. Okay? There are objective rules. You can teach somebody a game and that is objectively the rules, unless you're like us and you want to throw in a few little house rules to spice things up a little. But just keep in mind that everything is subjective and people are just giving you their opinions. And an opinion is only worth as much as somebody is willing to allow it to be worth, basically. Yeah.
I have a couple things I want to say on that topic. First and foremost, especially when it comes to reviews, like there's always bias. Regardless of what, there's this entire conversation around reviews need to be bias-free. It doesn't exist. Because as soon as... even if I go out and buy a game, and that's what most people would say is an unbiased review, is you've spent your money on the game.
Hard-earned money.
But here's the problem. As soon as I spend my money on something, I'm immediately biased because I'm going to try to at least justify that purchase. So I'm already inherently biased towards the purchase that I've made. So let's kind of move away from this kind of unbiased review, preview nonsense. But also to Jamie's point, it's why we always mention on the channel to do your research. Regardless of what we say, what other people say, these are all to Jamie's point, guidelines to make informed buying decisions.
Yeah.
I never want someone to see us talk about a game and then be like, well, they like it, I need to go buy it. Mm-hmm. I don't ever want someone to do that.
Mm-hmm. Or they don't like it, and I never want to try it.
Yeah, exactly. Take what we say, and if we have similar tastes in games, because that's a lot of the reason why people will watch content creators, like, well, they seem to like the same things I like, which is totally valid. But that's not always going to be the case. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important to watch us, watch other content creators, and be like, well, these people all kind of seem like they like it. Read some blogs. Try it out for free on BGA or at a board game cafe if you have one local to you. It's just, again, don't just buy something because someone's telling you to buy it, and don't not buy something because someone's saying not to buy it.
Yeah.
Do your research, because you could be missing a game that you very, very much enjoy. Yeah, I have, I think, kind of maybe two more things that I really, really care about. The first one is, if you're not interested in playing the game, don't play it. And I mean that in the most positive way. Mm-hmm. You know, there are a lot of the time when I'm at conventions or we have people over, and I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling the game, and it's not because it's a bad game. It's just I'm not feeling it. I'm just like, don't play. And what I would ask people that are playing the game is, don't pressure people into wanting to play the game. Mm-hmm. Because I would argue the majority of the time when someone says, hey, I'm good, it's not because of anything you're doing.
No, they just need a break.
They just need a break. And so, because I get it all the time. People are like, no, come on. And I'm like, no, like, really, I don't want to play.
Usually it takes me having to be like, no, really, he's fine to not play.
Yeah, I would rather, if I'm not feeling the game, I would rather sit and watch people enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because, again, if I'm not into the game, I'm going to impact
yes.
that experience for everyone else. And I don't want to do that. I'm an empathetic person. And I think it's important when I'm not feeling something to just take a step back and be like, you have fun. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to walk around. I'll come back and whatever.
Or I'm just going to sit and watch and hang out.
Let people do that. Mm-hmm. I think it's important to self-identify when games are not going to be for them. And it could be in a bad mood, or just be mindful of the experience is not just yours. Mm-hmm. There's multiple people around that table, so if you're not in the mood to sit and play, then maybe it's time to just take a step back and not play. The other thing is to have a clean and organized gaming room. And that is a big, massive issue for me. Mm-hmm. And it's one we're very, very bad at. If you were to see what we're in front of right now, this gives me so much anxiety.
You don't want to
because there's games everywhere. There's games in piles next to us. There's a game set up in front of us from Jamie's filming. There's boxes everywhere.
To be fair,
okay,
this is also our studio.
We're not defending it.
Yeah.
Upstairs, there's stacks of games everywhere.
That's not our studio.
It's similar to when you come home and you come home to a nice, clean house. That gives me so much satisfaction and joy. And it's similar when I'm playing games. Mm-hmm. I want it to be clean. And it's just, when there's a mess, my brain is focusing on the mess.
Right.
And so having a clean, well thought out gaming space where it's just the game you're playing, things are tidy around you, you have your nice drink and maybe some snacks, that's the way to go. Jamie is not that person.
No, I certainly do prefer that. It's just like our gaming space is a working space as well, which just leads into the fact that, hey, did you know that we have a Kickstarter going on right now, which is partially going to help support us to build our new studio, which will always be clean and organized.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like to support that, there's going to be links in the description below. It will be.
Not when Jamie gets her digits on it.
Whatever. So a couple more from me. Number one, and this is something that I need to be better at personally, is make time for other social activities.
Yes, you do.
Sometimes when we find a hobby that we love so dearly, as I love board games so dearly, we'll dive like headfirst into it and then never look up or look around or do anything else. And it can be, I'm talking to them, not to you.
Okay.
And it can be all consuming. And I just don't think that that's the best thing for a human. I think we do need to go outside sometimes. Maybe we need to play pickleball, or we need to pick up some other kind of activity that kind of takes you away from sitting, because that's what we do as gamers. We sit when we play games, and we do that thing. Take you outside to do something different and take your mind away and a break from games.
I think it's important just for it's like, what's the phrase, like, distance makes the heart grow fonder, or something like that.
Absence.
It's similar.
Not absinthe.
I mean, maybe. Absinthe. But you know what I mean. Yeah. Like, when you're all consumed in always playing board games, I think you lose. And I'll be completely honest. I have at different times of this experience with this channel. Like, when we get deep into it, I'm like, oh my God, I need a break. I need a break from games. Because it's playing, it's filming, it's all of these things.
I've never had that experience.
And recently,
yeah,
which is fair.
Yeah.
But I think you would appreciate it even more if you did step back sometimes and be like, oh yeah, like, I'm really into playing. And like, a lot of my energy comes when I go to conventions. Like, I get reinvigorated in the hobby when I go to conventions and see people playing games and that sort of thing. But recently, I've reinvigorated my love for an old hobby, which was video game collecting, which was something I always cared about as a kid, and it transcended into when I was first in university, and I lost it all, and I've been kind of dipping into it again, and it's making things balance better. It's making me appreciate board games because I cannot think about it all the time. But now a bit of the problem is I'm so obsessed with.
Yeah, and then now you need time to make time for other social activities.
Like board games.
Yeah,
but no, I think it's important to have a couple hobbies.
Yeah.
You know, to balance, and they don't have to be super expensive hobbies. I'm not saying like you need to. You know, Jamie and I are in unique places of our lives that allow us to kind of do these things. But like, yeah, go for a walk, like hike or whatever. Just find
something different.
Find a couple things that you can bounce each other off of.
Talk to some friends.
Yeah.
Join the Discord.
Yeah.
Talk to people in there. Another thing that I think is really important in terms of self-care for gamers is figuring out how you best learn.
Ugh, yes.
And trying to figure out like how to learn that way, because like for me, I teach a lot of games, and I know that Jeff learns in a very different way from how I learn. But I think it's been really important that we figured that out for ourselves. Like, Jeff just essentially needs to play a game. But for me, I learn by teaching. Because like it helps lock things in. So I know that when I'm teaching Jeff, he's probably not listening to me, but I just need to get it out. I just need to go through all of the things, and sometimes I just need him to pretend that he's listening.
We can get spicy.
Yeah, like I don't really care whether or not he is listening, but if he's like looking at something, and I'm like, okay, well, he's looking at it, so maybe he's listening. But that's how I learn. I think it's been really important to figure that out, because I think it can totally change the way that you enjoy games. Like, whether it's like, I know I have to learn. The teacher. Yeah. But like, I know I have to learn by reading a rule book. And that can be tricky when somebody is trying to verbally teach you a game. So you need to like, here's the thing. When somebody's teaching you a game, you can ask for the rule book. But just know, you need to be very upfront and clear when you do that, to be like, hey, I learned by reading, like, would you mind if I looked at the rule book? And
don't use it as an opportunity to overteach someone.
That's where I was going. That's a big no-no. So like, know how you learn and just be respectful about it, and vice versa to the teacher. If somebody is just like, hey, I can't, like when you're talking, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I need to see it in front of me. Like, you just need to learn how to be a little bit flexible. And I think like the first step in that is identifying how you learn.
And I think also too, having a conversation about how other people learn.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're playing with a consistent group, just being like, hey, how does everyone learn around here?
Yeah.
And maybe they don't know, but they're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And to Jamie's point, let the person teach. Even if you notice something, like just let them teach. Don't get involved. it's not a big deal.
Yeah. But like as an example, like we play a lot of games with Matt, and I know that Matt likes to know a game before he comes over to play. So but he doesn't like to learn from a rule book. He likes to learn from a video. So if I can find a video or tell him like, hey, there's a video by this person, he can watch it in advance, and that's really helpful for him. So it's just, I just think that's really important. I found it's been very helpful for us. All right, so those are some of our tips and tricks for self-care for board gamers, or really just like things to be mindful of, you know, just keep them in mind. Treat yourself good.
Treat yourself to a wonderful board gaming experience.
Treat yourself to a wonderful board gaming experience. Treat your body good. Treat your mind good. Take a nap. Go for a walk.
Let's just all say, we're all board gamers.
Yeah,
we're going to pay dividends later in life.
Oh, yeah.
That mental exercise,
we got that locked in, okay?
Steel traps
We're
up there.
out here doing strategy.
We're going to be 80-year-olds just doing calculus.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Well, not me. Math, I don't think so. Anyways, that is everything that we have for you today. We'd love to know in the comments below, do you have any tips that you do for some self-care? We just think it's important to take care of yourselves, you know, and sometimes we need to be reminded to do that. And once again, that includes us.
Yes.
I did mention it already, but if you're interested in our Kickstarter, all the links and everything are going to be in the description below. We're raising some funds for the channel so Jeff can have a cleaner workspace.
It's never been put to me that way, but that is 100% accurate.
A big part of the new studio is our plan is to get everything off the floor. And that is a huge piece of the clutter that is this gaming space. Anyways, if you're interested in Magic Mind, links in the description, all of that good stuff. If you want to try some mental clarity and take some green shots with me, whoop, you could do that. It's all in the description.
It's a zinger.
It's a zinger. And if you're interested in buying board games, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is
the Boardroom Game Cafe.
Yes, and if you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Later days.
And sometimes...
Couldn't hold that one in. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
This is how much I think ahead.
Okay.
You.
Us.
Why me? You just want to hit me.
Us included. All right. Is interesting.
Okay.
Some
Alcohol
of the B-roll.
free.
Alcohol free, obviously, yes.